Yo everybody, welcome to another Picklog of the Picklog. So this one is a monthly update. For those of you who are not familiar with monthly updates, it's where we review the art that was created that month. So basically, we are going to be able to review all the art that was made with this awesome month of February. Woo woo. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with the vlog with the camera. Nice to see you guys again for this lovely video. So before I start showing you the art that was created for February, one of the first pieces is a fairy jar redemption. And basically, the fairy jar is something that I started not February, but in January. So let me go ahead and talk about the fairy jar, for those of you who aren't familiar with it, because I explained it at the end of the video last time, and I want to talk about it at the beginning of this video this time. So the fairy jar is this little mason jar, and you can put your name in the mason jar for a certain amount of marshmallows, or by donating more than $5. Pretty much. Basically it. So, here's one of the names from the fairy jar. As you can see, each of the names have little wings at the end of them. If I can get another name. There we go. There's another one. And right now I have about a lot of names in the jar already, but I have two jars. One that's the active jar, and the other that's the inactive jar. Basically, if you have your name drawn, you go into the inactive jar. You can put in your name up to 3 times for more of a chance of winning, but once you've already won the prize, all 3 names are removed and put into the inactive jar. That way it's more fair for those of the people who need to win their prize, and that way it's more fair, basically. So right now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 names in the jar, and it's pretty fun. These 2 pieces of paper has all the names and all the prizes. So in the last time I drew from the fairy jar, I was playing Duck Game, and the person who won the Duck Game stream won a Duck Game avatar, and that person was Little Kitty Alley. Or not Little Kitty Alley, it's Little Lily. Her username isn't Little Kitty Alley, it's actually Litty Kitty Alley. And I didn't realize that until later. Sorry about that, Ellie. So yeah, she wanted a witch duck. So here is the duck avatar. It is a witch duck that's purple. Honestly, it was a lot of fun making this, as it was my first ever pixel art. I haven't dove into the pixel art world yet, so this was a lot of fun. I had to make it super tiny at first, and then took that image and sized it up to where it was bigger and it wasn't super tiny. But it was really fun to work with it, and I really had a good chance learning about pixel art. So the next piece I did is something that not a lot of people have seen on my gallery, my DA gallery, because I didn't upload it in my DA gallery. I used it as a thumbnail for Picklog, and that was a Stardew Valley thumbnail. Stardew Valley is basically a pixel-based game where you can farm and you can play the game as a farmer, as a fisherman, or as a What else? As a monster hunter, where you can hunt monsters in the cave, you know, all sorts of stuff. It's a really fun game. So here is the Stardew thumbnail. As you can see, it is pretty cute. I have the fence pixel art in the background, and if I can just enlarge this a bit more, here you can see a wonderful little avatar of me. That's the outfit I have for the game, the black shirt with the heart and the pink shorts. I'm hoping this looks like me waving, because that's what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be like, a kind of wave. But it's super cute, and I love it. I'm hoping to do more episodes of the Stardew Valley playthrough series soon. The first 3 parts I recorded are super long, so I have to upload them once they're compressed. For those of you watching Picklog, which is this channel right now, you will see the episodes in past videos. Right now there's only 1 episode up, but I will upload the other 2 as soon as I get the chance. So that's the second piece that was created in February. These next 2 pieces were created at the beginning and end of February, but I'm going to show both of them because I feel like they're more relatable. Or, not really relatable, but more of... what's the word I'm looking for? What is the word I'm looking for? Not really relatable, but more... Cast-sized? Is that even a word? Did I just make up a word? I don't know. Basically, they're in the same category. Alright, so let me show you the first one. So, for those of you who don't know, I recently upgraded my Patreon and completely changed the reward tiers and stuff like that. I'm about to actually change the tiers again, to be honest. But, we'll see. Alright, so, here is one of the first pieces, which is a Fursoni fairy. Basically, for those of you who haven't seen my Patreon page yet, one of the tiers is that you get your own fairy avatar. And basically the fairy avatar is your character as a fairy. And for this, I am making examples of the fairy avatars, and I really wanted to do an example of a Fursona fairy avatar. It was a little difficult at first to find a Fursona, because the furry server I recently joined called Anthrocon, I tried to see if I could get permission to do art of a Fursona, and I think they took it the wrong way. I think they thought I was trying to just steal an OC, and that's not what I was trying to do at all. I just wanted to use it as an example for fairy avatars. Luckily though, someone understood that and they PM'd me and they said, you can use my fairy Fursona, and I'm like, sweet, awesome. So here is the Fursona fairy. Her nickname is Neo, probably because she looks like Napoleon ice cream. At least that's my assumption. And I had a lot of fun drawing her. She was really cool. She's like this dragon wolf hybrid, and she was a lot of fun to draw. It also helped establish how I wanted the wings to look. The wings are going to be different for each avatar, but they're all going to have little swirls. Now, for those of you who've seen my Inktober from last year, you know that when I draw fairies I put swirls in the wings. But now I have improved on the swirls to where the inner swirl has a thicker line and the outer swirl has a thicker line, but the one in between is a thinner line. So that's how I do my fairy wings now. So here's the Fursona example, and then I wanted to do a humanoid example. so I wanted to do a humanoid example. And basically for a while I didn't know what humanoid to do. I just knew I wanted to do something humanoid. And, well, hopefully this doesn't toot up the wrong horn, but I went ahead and did me. I wanted it to be a royalty fairy, which is something you can earn if you're the highest of the tiers on Patreon, where your fairy avatar is deemed royalty. And I wanted to do basically me in the fairy avatar examples, because eventually, whenever I have enough patrons, I want to put them all together in a group picture. So I'll have this Patreon over here, this Patreon over here, and then the Patreon over here, and then me in the middle. Or I think I might be in the middle, I might be on the left, I might be on the right, but basically I'll be in the picture. So I wanted to think about what kind of character I would do. So I was like, I want it to look like me, but I also want it to symbolize how my character in this fairy universe is the queen, because she is in charge of all the fairies, and I'm in charge of all the fairies, so it just made sense to me. Let me go ahead and show you the crown, because the crown is my favorite part. So the crown is a mix of silver and gold, and basically it's a mix between silver and gold because whenever I do the royalty fairies, I want the princes to have silver crown and the princesses to have gold crowns. So I figured the queen would have a combination of silver and gold. And I also added a little tidbit where roses are growing out of the crown. I have a red rose on the right, a black rose on the left. This is just a little extra tidbit that I wanted to have because I really like roses, and it's something that was natural that I wanted to be added to the fairy avatar. Another thing that the royal fairy avatars has is that they have gems in their wings. So as you can see, I put sapphires in my wings. And basically I did sapphires because of my birth month, but also because blue just looks good with pink. So yeah, if you're interested in having a fairy avatar of your own, check out my Patreon. Alright, so those two pieces are done. The next piece I want to show you is another fairy piece. This is my offline screen. This is my offline screen for my Twitch, which I remodeled recently. For those of you who don't know, in January I took a break from live streaming, and whenever I came out of that break, I came out fresh and awesome. And it was really cool. I had a new outline, I had a new layout, I had new layout on the Twitch page where there was more pictures about me, and then the section of marshmallows explaining the marshmallows, which is loyalty points, which I explained earlier. Stuff like that. So it was really cool. So this is the offline picture. For those of you not familiar with offline pictures, it's basically whenever the live stream is not live. They're offline. And I wanted mine to be fairies. So as you can see, there's little fairies amongst the little forest of purple trees. Originally I was going to have offline be black letters, but when I added the white outline and took off the black, it looked so good, so I kept it. But yeah, that's one of the pieces from my Twitch. Alright, the next piece is a piece I promised to be done within the end of January, but I had to take a break because I was having a live streaming break. So this next piece is really cool. It is the Black Griffin and Michelle Creeper print. I spent so many hours in this piece, but it's so worth it because it looks so good. I love it. I went ahead and did a sketch a long time ago, like in the beginning of January, and I posted a journal on DA asking people, hey, so I am doing this print and I want to have OCs in the audience. So I basically did this picture going, your OC could be here, and I did a little arrow, and I did the little sketch of what all the OCs would be like. As you can see, that's what the audience looks like. The first person is looking this way. The second person has their hooves up. Third person is back view. The fourth and fifth was cider mugs clashing together. And the last one was a filly on top of an adult. So I wanted that kind of audience. And basically, whenever people commented on the DA journal, they commented which pose they liked. And surprisingly enough, I got the exact number of people I needed. The exact number. I didn't have to refuse anybody, I didn't have to pick and choose. It was the exact number. It was really cool. So basically, let me go ahead and review what avatars / characters are at the bottom. So the first character is a changeling by the name Countess Rose, which is really cool. The second one is a small unicorn by the name of Dove Petal. I think that's her username, but not the pony name. I think the pony name was Sketch something. Sorry, Dove Petal. But basically, it's a really cute unicorn that is actually smaller than what the picture suggests. The picture suggests that she's just as tall as the other ponies, but we're just gonna pretend she's standing on a box. The third character is Sharpwit, who changed their character to a Kieran. For those of you not familiar with Kierans, they came out in Season 8, and they're pretty cool. I love how I was able to include the Kieran, but to be honest, if it was a front view look, then I wouldn't have done the Kieran because there's just a lot of detail that goes into the character, and I wanted the characters to be in the audience to be low detailed. But I went ahead and did the back view, and the back view worked. So, we're Gucci, as my sister would say. And the fourth and fifth one are an avatar from a Brony podcast, and the fifth one is my friend Dark, who has a black and white character, but for this instance I didn't want to do pure black and pure white, so I did a mix of a little bit of a gray and a little bit of a dark blue for the black and white hair, which to me looks a lot better, but it's probably not the preferred stance for them. But yeah, I really love how the mugs turned out. The mugs turned out pretty great. And the last of members of the audience is Triforce and his sister or his cousin. For the character it's sister, but it's based off of his cousin, if I remember correctly. But it's really cute, and she's like going woo. And last but not least, the main OCs of the print is Michelle Creeper and Black Griffin. Now for Michelle Creeper, I did this hairstyle based on another artist who drew her hair shorter. I tagged the artist on Twitter, crediting them whenever I first finished the sketch. Or not the sketch, the first inking process. Whenever I had it colored, I went ahead and showed the awesome the awesome outlook of how it was coming out. And I tagged the artist going, hey, thanks for inspiring me to do this hairstyle. It's a really cool hairstyle for her. And then for Black Griffin, a lot of people have been drawing him as a pony lately, but I wanted to do him as a griffin because it's in his freaking name, you know? So I did him as a griffin. Honestly, it was a little difficult at first because I didn't know how to approach with the appearance, but I think claw-wise, you can definitely tell what's going on. He's like holding the mic with his finger pointed out, going like, yeah, blah blah blah, something like that, or da 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 da, because he's a dude. And with the stage lighting, I did some experimental stage lighting where I did a little bit of an overlay with the layer, and then I wanted it to look like the stage lighting that I had reference to it. So I did a little bit of streaks of light coming out of the source, and then in the background I included their Michelle Creeper and Black Griffin logo that they used for their album, because I think they did an album or two with that logo. And then last but not least, I added a little bit of a fog on the back, or on the bottom. The fog was actually a brush that I found in Clip Studio Paint that looked perfect for fog, so I used it. And then I added a little bit of my signature at the bottom left, where it looks like it's on the stage. I'm pretty proud of this print. I put a lot of work into it, and hopefully I can do more My Little Pony prints just like this one. If you have a request for My Little Pony print, definitely comment. Let me know. And I might do it. Who knows? Alright, so we're almost done with the monthly update of February. We got 2 more pieces. The next piece is a Valentine's piece, but instead of Valentine's, it's Galentine's and Hearts and Hooves Day. So I got this concept when I was thinking about what to do for Valentine's Day, and I was like, for Valentine's Day I actually spent it with my grandmother. She's really cool. We had lunch together at like Five Guys, but anyways, for this Valentine's Day I wanted to celebrate my sister, which is Nova. Well, we're not sisters by blood, but we're sisters by like friendship, because we've been friends for like 8 years. And then I wanted to represent my boyfriend, and he wanted to wish me Hearts and Hooves Day. For those of you not familiar with it, that's Pony's Valentine's Day. So I wanted to do both pieces, so I thought about it and I was like, let's do half a pony, half a human, and put them together. And that's what this piece is. It looks a little weird, to be honest, because the heads are different, but I tried to line up the hair to be almost the same, but it's really cute. Honestly, I love how it turned out. Alright, last but not least is a piece from a rolling dice live stream. Basically, some live streams I do is called rolling dice, where I roll this d20 to decide what I'm going to draw. Half of the list is my own projects, the other half is audience suggestions. The audience can suggest their own OCs, they can suggest characters from different TV shows, whatever the case may be. And for this particular stream, the one that won the live stream was the Finn the Pony hugging Pickfairy. But instead of hugging, I went ahead and did lunch. So here's Finn the Pony and Pickfairy enjoying lunch. It's something that I drew with just to go with the suggestion, and to be honest, I really love how it turns out. I did a little bit of shading on both the ponies, and I had fun drawing the food on the table, and it was really cool. I loved it. Hopefully I can upload both the videos on my main channel of how it was created. I haven't downloaded them yet, but hopefully I should be able to soon, and it'll be good to go. Okie dokie. So that is the February monthly update. Wrapping up here. Thanks you guys for tuning in for this awesome video, and I will see you in the next one.